Two households, both alike in dignity. In fair Verona where we lay our scene. The first time I read Romeo and Juliet, I was like, this is weak, I don't get it. This ain't got nothing to do with my life. Now, when I read it, it's like, this is what's going on in my neighborhood right now, Richmond, California. Welcome to my city.
Last weekend, we had a shooting every night. And one night, we had 2 shootings. So we have a gang problem.
It's about North versus Central. The reason why we are fighting is because our parents was fighting.
My little brother, it was really easy for him to be a thug. It's in his bloodline.
When I was a little kid, I always envisioned myself being somebody important. I want to be one of the biggest drug dealers in Richmond. Nah, the Bay Area.
Well, first of all, how's your day going today? Everything's going good?
It's good.
Did you meditate this morning?
I did.
Did you join in on that?
Not with him, but personally.
Personal thing, okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, first of all, I really enjoyed this documentary, Romeo Is Bleeding, sorry. Romeo Is Bleeding. You know, one thing I realized is watching this, art is something that saved many of us black brothers and sisters. What does art mean to you, Donte?
Art is life. Like everything that we see in existence came from an artist. From phones to cars to buildings to anything that's created, an artist had to think about it and then communicate that to other artists to then bring that vision to fruition. So art is life.
Man, you know, just watching the documentary and, you know, just seeing your neighborhood, it made me realize that there are so many Richmonds across the United States. And it's kind of sad that we're kind of here at this moment today. What do you feel like needs to be done, Russell? Like, what is your opinion on that?
Well, you know, the personal transformation first, you know, and Donte made this point earlier. It's like, there's always, you know, an activist. There's always somebody going to turn the page, but where to? You have to operate from the self, you know, the big self, not the small one. And then that needs a little interest, you know, perspective and little transformation, personal transformation. You have to be what you imagine for the world. So that's a really critical process. And, you know, through a movie like this, you know, Donte gets to really dig deeper in the poetry he writes, the work that he does. You know, it's for purpose, you know, and I think people can follow his lead. And, you know, you can't, somebody said, well, the world will still be the same. Well, no, the people you affected will be different. And you will be different as a result. And so there's this process of giving and getting. And if he's given all these good things and this inspiration to so many people, he's growing. He's not a gangbanger, he's not a drug dealer, he's not the things he was planning on being. He said in the movie, I'm gonna be a big drug dealer, biggest in Richmond. And he thought really big, I'm gonna be the biggest in all Oakland, everything. I'm gonna be the biggest in all. That was his aspiration, and his aspiration changed, you know, because he imagined himself into something even bigger. He didn't know he was gonna make 18, and now here he is teaching students and saving their lives. And he's an activist in his community. So anyway, I want to just say this movie is transformative for all who see it. You know, and it's very important people see it because it's not because it's a piece of work or they need to feel it. They're going to feel it when they see it. It's going to be inspiring and they're going to enjoy it. Everybody who sees this movie will enjoy it. And it's really an important message I want to get out because the movie will speak for itself. And that transformation he made, every kid can make. They need sometimes inspiration or examples. He's an example.
Yeah, I really think this film is kind of like the epicenter of talking about our black community. And I think this reminds me of, you know, Ho's new album, 444, where he says, please don't die over the neighborhood that your mom's renting. Why do you think the black community is so attached to, you know, just our neighborhoods where we don't own property in it?
We don't have nothing else. Everything we did have was stripped from us when we was brought up over here. Or for those who was native, got kicked out and moved to the other side of this country, and then it was renamed and reclaimed by somebody else. So everything that we have has been an aspiration to be like those who had oppressed us. Fancy things and nice things. And it's like, if I don't at least own this neighborhood, you know what I mean, then what do I have? I don't have my language, I don't have my name. So all I have is the connections to the people that grew up in this spot. So it's like, it's really about the memories of the neighborhood. It's not really the property. It's just like, this is all that I have.
That's a good point. Russell, as a very successful entrepreneur, businessman, what is your advice for anyone that wants to be where you are today and be able to transcend from the slums or from whatever neighborhood you're from?
You know, I want people to do it from passion. You know, I know a lot of rappers say, I'm gonna get this new car, then they get the new car, and then they show the car like the car is really what makes them happy, and I don't want people to think that they gotta chase things, because things come. Needing nothing attracts everything. So I want them to operate from a calm space, and I want them to do things that take them inside, like Donte did. Take them inside so they can know something bigger than the small stuff that's being sold to them in the world. Art's a transformative vehicle, and I want people to take it, and I had a fundraiser yesterday, and Public Enemy formed. We raised over $1 million. It's a big deal, Art for Life. We do it every year for 20 years, just to give a few people, because millions and millions of people are locked out of art. Donald Trump just took more money out of the arts. Just to give, it gives awareness, and we serve a few, but there's so many kids who have no chance to practice and appreciate art.
Agreed.
And it's important. Anybody can do poetry. Everybody can sit down and write, and that's important to get people writing, get people expressing themselves.
And final question, do we have a Def Jam poetry coming still? And is Chance the Rapper really attached to it?
Well, it was his idea. They're talking now. Hopefully the deal will get done, but there's a lot of great poets right now. Yeah. Spit some for him right now.
Come on, man, let's get it.
Spit some right now.
Same one?
Yeah, spit the same one, please.
As morning dew graze across cracked bottles and torn plastic and uncultivated soil, in a crammed place rumbles an appetite. Deep inside Section 8 housing, beneath a rusted ceiling with iron tears and a quivering pit bellows off the cliff notes to Yah. Here lies a brown boy who awakes to a molding frost setting into his bones. The third morning this week he struggled to climb out from his weeping puddle, search through rubble for watered ground to plant his weary feet. It's the pieces of watching your best friend head explode in front of you. The sight, mind-blowing to say the least, don't you think? With scrawny shoulders and sinking faith, this brown boy carries 17 caskets and unfinished homework on his back as he drags himself through a thick cloud of purple smoke to stagger down a condemned pathway to the end of your classroom, cuffed in a black hooded sweatshirt made obituary there in the corners where he fold, crumble at each tick of that clock, knowing that in here or out there on that block we waste, where the living usually forgets about the dead. And is that why these teachers don't see us?
Donte, Russell, thank you for your time. Very much appreciated.
We've seen that, right?